Lately, a lot of people have started noticing the same thing. Even people who used to read books or watch long videos easily now get bored after just 10 or 15 seconds. One video, another video, then another one, and then another, and another. You open the app thinking you'll only watch for a minute, but suddenly it's not 5 minutes anymore. It's 50. So that raises a question. Are short videos actually affecting your brain? Is this just another scary internet phrase? Or is there actually some truth behind the idea of brain rot? Today, we're looking at what short videos may really be doing to your brain, why they are so hard to stop, why focus feels weaker, and whether you can reverse it. Because short videos are not just harmless little clips. They're a format designed to keep your brain locked onto the screen. Every clip is short, fast, and easy to consume, and you never really know what the next video will be. So your brain stays in a constant, maybe the next one will be good mode. Not because every video is amazing, but because the next one might be. That's why people often keep scrolling even when they're already tired. At that point, it's not always about enjoyment anymore. Sometimes you keep going because you're searching for the next interesting hit. A lot of people think they're resting, but their brain is actually sitting in a stream of constant stimulation. This is where people usually explain everything with one word: dopamine. And yes, reward and motivation systems do matter, but the real story is more complicated than dopamine equals bad. What really matters is how easily your brain gets used to fast reward, constant novelty, and low effort stimulation. That's why slower things can start to feel strangely harder. A book can feel slower, a long video can feel like too much work. Not because your brain is broken, but because it may be adapting to speed. Your attention gets used to frequent switching, so staying with one quiet thing starts to feel harder. That's why some people can't finish a movie without checking their phone. Why reading can feel strangely harder than it used to. Why even normal speed content can start to feel slow. And that doesn't always mean you're lazy. It may mean your mind has been training in a different direction. Not an instant collapse, but repeated exposure can still shape your habits. So the real issue may not be damage, it may be the kind of attention you've been training, and focus is only part of the story. Sometimes you can watch a lot and still remember surprisingly little, because seeing something is not the same as deeply processing it. Short videos often move too fast to let your mind settle on one thing. You may enjoy it in the moment, without turning that moment into real understanding. And then there's the late night problem. A lot of people tell themselves they'll scroll for just 5 more minutes, and somehow those 5 minutes become 40. The problem is not just wasted time, it's that your brain may still be sitting in a stimulation when it should be winding down, and the next day that can make focus and energy feel even worse. So is this what people mean when they say brain rot? Not as a medical diagnosis, but as a way of describing a very real feeling. Brain rot is not really a scientific diagnosis. It's more like a phrase people use when their mind feels overloaded, shallow, or constantly distracted. And honestly, there's a real feeling behind that word. But that does not automatically mean your brain is ruined. In many cases, it may be more accurate to think of it as a pattern, a repeated habit of fast, easy, low-effort stimulation. And the important thing is this: your brain can adapt. It adapts to what you repeatedly give it. If you keep training it on short bursts, then longer focus can start to feel weaker. But if you start training it differently, that direction can change too. So the real question is not whether you're doomed. It's whether you can start resetting the pattern. And the good news is, yes, you can. The first step is not to panic. You do not need to delete your entire digital life overnight. Small changes repeated consistently matter much more. One of the best things you can do is stop starting your morning with short videos. Your brain is especially impressionable when the day begins. If the first thing you give it is rapid stimulation, that sets the tone. The second big shift is what you do at night. Giving your mind a cutoff before sleep can make a real difference. You can also make scrolling a little harder on purpose. Turn off autoplay, move the app, add a timer, or create some friction between impulse and action. Then you need to actively retrain longer focus, not for 2 hours at once. Start with 10 quiet minutes, then 15, then 20, then more. You're teaching your brain that calm attention is still possible, and that's really what this comes down to. Short videos are not automatically evil. The problem is how often, how long, and how mindlessly you use them. And if your focus feels weaker right now, that does not mean you failed. It may simply mean your attention has been trained in a chaotic environment, and that means it can be trained back. A better morning, a cleaner night, more friction, and a few quiet minutes a day can start changing everything, because in the end, you are always training your attention. So the question is not whether your brain is ruined, it's what kind of mind you want to build next.